Pete said the Giants are 5-1 the last few games.
Yeah.
Giants, you know,
with virtually no talent.
The thing is with the Giants, they just have no flash. They're just doing it done. But you know, defensively, they're turning over the ball, and then Wayne Gallum had 130 yards.
Yeah. Wayne Gallman, dating back to his days at Clemson, big fan of that guy. Shout out! There's actually a movie coming about former Clemson safety called Safety, and it's on Disney Plus. It's coming out. It's about how he adopted his little brother.
Huh?
Yeah, it's called Safety, and the dude, this jersey number is number 9. I forget his last name, but yeah, it's kind of dope. But when it comes to, if I go NFC East, I have to say the team with the best defense because that Washington defense is frightening, even with dudes out for the year on that defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, even with what the Steelers coach was saying to him, he's like, I don't want you guys on my team. I would never
want to have to lose enough games to have you on my team.
Yeah, because you got to lose 13, 14, 15 games a year to get a guy like that. Is what Thomas said. And Pete, you did text, so I'm going to say that you did say that, but whatever.
He's never had a losing record.
Yeah.
But also, if Chase Young becomes a free agent, if I'm Pittsburgh, throw all the money at Chase Young. If I'm that,
now, take advantage of the years you have him on
that rookie deal.
Don't get me wrong, but that guy is going to get paid. He's going to be a monster, and you know what? No,
him and Montez Sweat are going to get paid.
What do you? I don't know. Does Washington have a brighter future?
Yeah, if I'm looking at that defensive line, if I'm looking at Antonio Gibson, if I'm looking at Scary Terry, Logan Thomas as a developmental.
Hey, Logan Thomas got me some points
last
week, man.
He was a tight end coming out of high school, and he had such a rocket for an arm. He replaced Tyrod Taylor. They had to try him at quarterback at Virginia Tech, and it just wasn't working. But he was like a 4 or 5-star tight end. So it's crazy that he just reverted back to being a tight end in the league, and he's actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
So good for him. Had a career game. And yeah, what's next on
the last one for
take your tangent.
Take your tangent. We didn't go over that earlier, but Larry Johnson became the first black head coach of the Ohio State football history. Ohio State football history coach a game. The best Michigan. They beat Michigan State 52-12. So
yeah, because Ryan Day had COVID and like 30 other guys on Ohio State had COVID, and a couple other coaches. So Larry Johnson is a position coach. He's the only black head coach. He's technically for that game. He's the only black head coach in Ohio State history. And he won his only game. So, long-time assistant, good for him.
That's awesome.
And that's dope. Like, all that black talent that come out of Ohio State, they've never had a black head coach. But Ohio has a history of racism, but also it's like...
It's the Midwest.
It's the Midwest, so I'm not surprised.
It took them long enough.
It's like Bobby Knight in Indiana. Okay, are you really surprised? No. Certain places you're just not surprised, like, oh, wait, there are no black people here in this position? Oh, man. But, good for him. He's a great position coach, and Ohio State just has loads and loads of NFL talent, even when 30 of their guys don't play against trash Michigan State.
So another take your tangent. Brian Flores went after Bengals' dirty hit on the that led to multiple ejections on both sides.
Oh, yeah. So Xavier Howard, who actually went to Baylor and has 8 interceptions, he leads the league in interceptions. I don't know what Byron Jones is doing this year, but I'm pretty sure he has nowhere many picks. But 8 interceptions, making a name for himself as the best corner in the league. And him and the Bengals receiver, Tyler Boyd, got into a fist fight. Punches were thrown. Tyler Boyd had 1 catch for 72 yards, 22 fantasy points. That was crazy. I was worried. Dude had like 68 points on his bench. I was like, I still would have beat you, but it would have been close. But yeah. So then there was a punt return, and the dude from the Bengals, it might have been Von Bell, but he hit the returner before, like literally, he was about to catch the punt, and fucking the gunner just runs right through him. Doesn't even care that the ball, like he's still trying to catch it. Boom, just runs right through him. Bench is clear. Brian Flores is in people's faces, like mad as hell. Like, you don't do that. And then a couple of Dolphins players came over, and put boots to asses. And a bunch of people got ejected. And if I'm Stephen Ross, I think that's the Dolphin order name. If I'm management, I'm like, that's our franchise coach. That's our guy. Because in an 8-6 season where we weren't supposed to be good, but we could eventually win 10 games and make the playoffs for the first time since Ricky Williams, which is about a good 12 to 15 years, like, this is amazing. And that's the type of fight you want to see, because the Dolphins usually would just lay down and get their heads kicked in. This time around, they're like, no, you're not going to do that to us, and we will fight you, and then we're going to proceed to kick your ass like they did the Bengals. So there's that.
So since we already talked about Des Bryant earlier, so I'm going to give you another Taker tangent. Taker tangent on the Raiders on a nail-biting walk-off win against the winless Jets. Take your tangent on that.
Sometimes when you're losing, you're really winning, and when you're winning, you're really losing. Shout out to Pete. Holy shit. The Raiders did not deserve to win this game at all. At no point. And anyone who's ever played Madden or just has common sense would never say, oh, this receiver over here, who's a first-round pick, first receiver taken in the draft, runs a 4.27. Arguably, could probably run a 4.22. But at the combine, it's whatever. Legitimate, fast 4.2. And the corner he's playing against is undrafted and ran a 4.6. And instead of giving him safety help, you call pretty much what they fucking called was Engage 8, where you pretty much blitzed 8 people and dropped 3 guys. So they quickly saw that audible. Okay, everybody run a fade. Verticals, all verts. Because if you know anything about football, pretty much 4 verts beats 2 safeties because somebody's going to be open. In this case, it was the same thing, but it was they just said, okay, outside receivers, run a go route, run a 9. And literally Ruggs just outran his defender. Hit him with a double move, and it was over. If it's one-on-one, as the saying goes, if he's even, he's leaving, and Ruggs left him in the dust. And the Jets players hated the call. They're like, why are we running this? Because even they knew their common sense was like, we shouldn't be running a blitz on a Hail Mary type play. We should be they're the only team in the league to do this. I think in the past couple years, to blitz 8 guys on the last play of a game.
Yeah, that's called blowing the season.
It's called Gregg Williams was like, fuck you, Adam Gase. So, salute to you, Gregg Williams. You know, you got fired, you got out of New York. I'm pretty sure no one's ever going to hire you again. I don't know why they would. But, yeah, the Jets are dumpster fire. And I feel if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I refuse to go to the Jets.
0-12, baby.
Literally.
Yeah, they might be the second team in history to go in 16. So,
and they're worse than the Lions team.
Yeah, they are.
That Lions team just was bad, and everybody else was really good at that time.
Last thing, just off a little this, coming back to what was supposed to be touching on the turnovers, Floyd Mayweather against Logan Paul.
Oh, shit.
Here, let me go first on this one. Like, you know what? I'm not a fan of Mayweather in his final years because he was a champion. His philosophy is like they need to beat him, so he never really put up a good fight as far as offense. Now, if this is just another exhibition, you know, because Floyd
money grab,
yeah, the money grab, whatever. But like, if I were to ever pay money for another Floyd Mayweather fight, especially against Logan Paul, because I'd like to see it. I want him to go out there and knock the motherfucker out. All right.
You want to see Logan Paul get his head kicked?
I would love to get Logan Paul. Now, like, I don't want to see. I would never want to see Logan Paul, who's a complete fucking douchebag, to go ahead and go round for round and have Floyd Mayweather dance with him and then go to decision. It's like, no, I want this guy to go out there and beat the shit out of Logan Paul, so Logan Paul can't say that he's a fucking great fighter. I
feel it, so he can't leverage it for clout. Yeah, Nate Robinson didn't take Jake Paul seriously. Logan Paul, like, Mayweather's the greatest defensive boxer of all time. There's a reason people who try to hit him Canelo couldn't touch him in a phone booth. Like, it was that bad.
Yeah.
And even if because, Floyd's knuckles were broken a lot, so he don't really have that punching power. But an elite boxer with elite speed can knock any average human being out. So he could easily, just on the speed of his punches, because speed kills, drill a hole in Logan Paul's face.
Dude, I could picture this shit looking like a little kid and like punching at a grown adult's legs, because Floyd Mayweather is 5'8", 150, and Logan Paul is 6'2", 200.
Still got my money on Mayweather.
Yeah, Mayweather's literally doesn't get touched. He won his fights strictly on defense, because in boxing, shit, CTE is real, and the point is to not get hit. If you can't ever hit me and I can hit you, then
do you think
I
his
win.
reach will go to his face? Logan's face?
Logan probably has my reach, but the thing is, Floyd would probably just work the body and then just hit him with all types of combos and just get out of there.
Out of his league.
He does what he did against McGregor. And
McGregor out of his
dang,
league.
I don't want to buy this shit.
But the crazy thing is, the pay-per-view with Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. is the 10th highest grossing pay-per-view of all time.
Really?
Of all time.
I didn't watch the fight.
That's why they got $600K, because they got points on the back end. So if you get $600 up front, they get all those points on the back end, then you get a split of the buy rate for the pay-per-view, and then you get $600,000. Easy work for 15 minutes, right? And with Mayweather, if he chooses to let it go the distance, he's gonna pummel his face.
You think if he wants, he can just
he could end that fight in 30 seconds.
I don't know anything about boxing, so this is all very new territory for me. But it's interesting. It's really interesting.
And Snoop Dogg's going to be announcing.
No way.
I think so. So it's going to be fantastic.
That's going to be great.
I want to know who's on the undercard.
Damn.
Evander really wants to fight Tyson, but I'm like, Tyson was really mad that they called that a draw when he clearly whooped Roy Jones Jr.'s ass.
All right. Well, since we're already way over time, how about we go
Technically, no, because there was no Monday show.
There's no Monday show. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, enjoy this.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys, anybody want to?
Y'all go first.
I did buy a Pittsburgh sweater. I was planning on wearing it tonight.
Shit.
But they printed it. It was supposed to be nice and big, but it was nice and small. And I was like, I don't like how that looks. So I'm going to return it. But if I'm here in a couple weeks with the Pittsburgh sweater on, mind your business.
Just hopefully they don't lose another game.
You know what?
I
don't care. I just like Pittsburgh.
You know, TJ Watt, possible defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. His brother's campaigning.
Or Minka.
His brother's campaigning for him. It's JJ, former MVP or former defensive player of the year.
The John Cena of football.
Yeah.
Don't you have finals, Izzy? Is it finals?
I don't know what school is.
That's the fairest question I've ever heard. That's the fairest answer I've ever heard.
Yeah. Finals are next week. So, oh my gosh, in a week I'm going to be a lot happier of a person.
Nice. Yeah.
Bravo.
Thank you for reminding me about my finals.
Just white knuckle it. You're almost there.
Almost there. Yeah, everything's turned in, so I just have to take tests, but that shouldn't be too bad.
Nice. I've been kind of having a crazy week as far as just even though we're in shutdown 2.0, it's just kind of different right now. Just feeding off news and media is quite awful right now. Just, I think society and just general is hard. My personal experiences, I'm just seeing even my neighbors and people that I barely see just go through these crazy, it's intense. I'm waking up to a family upstairs as a 1.5-year-old and 6-year-old and yelling at them because they're waking me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We got my neighbors fighting with their dogs, getting in each other's faces and stuff like that. Just it's crazy out there. It's people are tense. People are angry. It's almost getting to lawlessness and almost like some things that even my family worried about martial law eventually with shutdown version 2.0. I just say, everybody take a breath, Get through it. It's hard. Christmas is in 2 weeks.